That's amazing.
Hello, nice to meet you.
We'll do traffic and weather, and then we'll start.
Cool.
Awesome.
Hello and welcome to Eat Drink Singapore on CNA 938. You're with me, Cheryl Go. Now, many of us, we may not think too much about pepper. It's a spice, it's a table condiment, something we see as maybe a late seasoning to our food. But what if we told you that pepper is actually much more than that? Well, a new business is seeking to give black pepper the attention and culinary status it deserves using a grinder that will elevate the entire pepper experience. So let's get more now from Jeremy Vo and Layla Wei, who are the founders of Piper. They join me now in the studio. Welcome, guys. Nice to have you on.
Hello, hello.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Okay, first up, pepper, as we know, is it pretty much an unsung hero, let me say, an underrated spice?
It's super underrated, especially in Singapore. You know, we think about white pepper quite often, Chinese cooking, but black pepper is, for us, a bold flavor enhancer. You think about pepper on steak, bolder. Pepper on eggs, bolder. On salad, bolder. And so, and most people don't know that there's the difference between regular pepper and even specialty pepper. And so that's what we're doing, more of the high-end artisanal pepper.
Right. What would you say gives pepper its flavor? Is it just that little spice, that little kick, or is it more than that?
So inside pepper, there are these aromatic oils in the skins, actually. And the problem is that generally this aroma fades after about 30 minutes of grinding. And so if you're using pre-ground pepper, it's generally quite tasteless because those oils have clearly evaporated. And so it's always important to get a fresh grind. And in fact, we've brought our grinders here today in the studio.
They look fascinating.
This is what it sounds like.
There is a very satisfying sound there indeed. We'll get more into the science and the thinking behind those grinders in just a bit. But before that, we also want to find out about your debut blend, which I understand is an artisanal mix of black and red peppercorns. Tell us more.
Sure. So everyone knows black pepper, but most people might not know that the plant, Piper nigrum, that produces black pepper,
Right.
also produces red pepper as well as white and green pepper. So they're all
from the
different-
same plant?
Yeah, same
Oh,
plant.
wow.
So
Fascinating.
they're just different stages of ripening and
I see.
processing. And our debut blend is a mix of black and red peppercorns. So red peppercorns are harvested when they're more ripened and turned red on the vine. And then they boil them and dry them. And black and red peppercorns that we've curated will give you a good balance of aroma and heat. Yeah, and our blend is coming from Kampot, Cambodia,
Yep.
which is like similar to the champagne in wine. So it's a special region that produces really high quality pepper.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I never knew Cambodia specialized in pepper production. What led you to seek out pepper from Cambodia?
It really is passion, to be honest. And we're both design lovers and foodies. And so actually, it was last year on a trip that my fiance and we had taken to Cambodia. And all of a sudden, we were tasting this incredible pepper that we felt lied to our whole lives. It's like, this is what pepper tastes like? Let's go bring some back for Layla to try. And that really spawned off the journey. Like to be able to share that with friends and throw a pepper party, all of that was just incredibly fun. And then figured, you know what, we can turn this into a venture.
Right. Okay, Layla, so you mentioned red and black. So red is a even more ripened version of black
That's
peppercorn.
right.
Oh, that's fascinating. Okay. Is it, would you say it has a stronger spice, the red ones? Or?
Oh, actually, it's less heaty.
Oh, it's milder.
Than, less intensive in terms of the
Right.
spice level than black, but
see.
it has very fruity aroma.
So that's why you guys decided to mix it so you get the best of both. That's
Exactly.
wonderful. All right. So obviously, beyond the pepper itself, the tool that you use to dispense the pepper is equally important. I just got to share. Over the weekend, I was at a restaurant and there was a really impossibly difficult pepper grinder on the table, and it was literally stuck. And I was like, okay, this really, I really get the point that you should have something that you shouldn't even have to think about it, right? It should just be a simple twist action and the pepper comes out, especially if you're using the uncrushed peppercorns. So tell us more about your Piper pepper grinder and how it promises zero mess and zero fuss.
So the pepper grinder itself is half the equation, right? Like even if you sourced amazing peppercorns, just how you grind that pepper totally changes the aroma profile. And so traditionally with poor, I want to say older pepper grinders or the ones that you might get in a store, there are three major issues. The first is the handling or the internal components, and they tend to cut the pepper rather than crush the pepper. So you don't get as much aroma release. The second thing is the mess. So you're mentioning a lot of folks have this issue where they have dust on the table after they finish.
The residue, right?
and I think that's quite ridiculous. And also the refilling process, right? Like when you refill the peppercorns in the grinder, sometimes they're bouncing around.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'll let my robot clean it up, but that's not fun. And then the last piece is microplastics. And oftentimes we're seeing folks use the plastic ones that you get at the supermarket, but they don't realize that, my goodness, the mechanical damage on the plastic is going into your food.
Yeah, that is definitely a concern. I want to go back to the point you made about cutting versus crushing the pepper. What's the difference and why would crushing it be better?
It comes down to the consistency of the grain. So when you cut the peppercorns, you may not have you might break a piece into 2, into 4, into 6s, into 8, and like so on, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when you crush it, with the difference of design on what's called the burrs on the inside, they are much more consistent from a fineness perspective, all the way from like sand consistency all the way to a coarser one. Yeah. And so just having that control as a home chef is incredibly important.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, when we go to the some fancier restaurants, they have that super long pepper grinder where the waiter will come and do some theatrics for you. But that one always seems very smooth. So I want to know what your process, Layla and Jeremy, were when it comes to designing your grinder and what makes it special.
Sure. It started from understanding the problems, like when you refill, it's pepper bouncing everywhere. And the big grinder that you mentioned, the one that looks like a chess piece, a lot of them have a hollow bottom. So you actually leave pepper dust trails on the table, and it's also not keeping the peppercorns fresh when you've left it there for a long time. So after understanding all these problems, we then thought that we want to design a better one that makes home chefs happy. And we also saw an aesthetic gap. So after trying the peppercorns that Jeremy brought from Cambodia, I was mind blown, and actually didn't have a proper pepper grinder at home. And then went to look in the market. A lot of them have boring and outdated design. And also there are like certain nice designer grinders, but they might be a little too edgy or jagged or doesn't fit the aesthetics of my new home.
Right.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't even work really well. So we thought, okay, we want to make our own. So we sketched out some concepts and actually ran the sketches with generative AI to produce a couple of different concepts. And we showed the AI generated visualization to a focus group. Which then help us pick a winning design. That's the pepper grinder that you're seeing. And from there, we fine-tune the design, turn it into 3D model, and work with our manufacturing partner, which is the prestigious coffee equipment brand, who help us with the internals. We adapted the coffee grinder mechanics for pepper itself.
Wow, fascinating. And for our listeners who can't see, Jeremy, can you describe your pepper grinder for us? It looks like a little bit like a fruit to me from far.
Fruit or kind of like alien with ears. There's so many ways to describe it. But what you're seeing mostly are smooth lines and an ergonomic kind of handle that
Yeah.
feels intuitive to use.
Yeah. So most pepper grinders, as we know, cylindrical in shape, and then you just twist it from the top or the bottom, and then the pepper comes out. So the Piper grinder has almost like a handle for you to kind of grip your fingers around, and then you do that twisting motion a little bit easier. So that's, I think, the key differentiator for me. And it's made of wood. I see 2 different colors. So what are the 2 different wood types?
Yeah, so one of it, the darker one
Yeah.
is black walnut.
Black walnut.
And the lighter color one is hard maple.
I see. So in terms of, let's say we were to wash it, it's perfectly fine, right? You just need to dry it out.
Yes.
Because it's natural wood.
Yeah, and also the internals are made of stainless steel.
Oh, the internal is made of stainless steel.
yeah,
Okay.
so you can actually take apart all the components
Yeah.
and clean them if you want to.
Okay. And how much pepper would one grinder like that be able to store or to be able to contain? It's quite a bit, right?
It's a decent amount. So typically when you go to the store, you get them in increments. At the low end, 20, 30 grams. At the higher end, 60 grams. And then obviously if you're not buying like a just peppercorn box.
Yeah.
But ours is designed to hold just north of 20 grams. So
Okay.
approximately 20, 25 grams.
Yeah.
And the reason behind this is because we want you to have a consistent refill that always is bringing in the freshest pepper. And so there's a mechanic that we're also designing where the peppercorns are in sachets.
Yeah.
And those sachets are moisture sealed and designed for freshness.
And they are also in 20 gram
Correct.
Increments, right? Okay, so it goes perfectly hand in hand. Let's talk about the price point of this product. It's obviously a bit more high end. Tell us how much you're charging and who you are targeting with the Piper grinder.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
geared kind of like us. We're design lovers and foodies. So we're geared at the same kind of person. Imagine a home chef that cares about their home interior. These are the folks that would probably care more about this. We're doing right now an exclusive offer where we're selling it for about 120 Sing dollars. Yeah. And so people are reserving their chance to purchase a Piper grinder.
Does it come with your pepper blend as well, or can you just add that on?
It absolutely comes with it. So you get 100 grams of our pepper.
Oh, nice.
Sourced from the farms in Cambodia.
Very nice. And I mean, obviously, this is something that if they love it, they're going to keep coming back for your pepper blend as well. So are you thinking about maybe a subscription model or something where how can people get their refills of your pepper blend?
I think that's the aspiration. Like if you love our pepper and we can give you a discount and you're a loyal customer, absolutely. But the long-term intention here is there's so many peppers around the world. We've seen a number like there's 4,000 types of peppercorns.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that
Wow.
insane?
That's insane.
And so for us to then source new regions around the world, like a Cameroonian peppercorn, or in Singapore, we know a lot more of that Sarawak pepper, right?
Yeah.
But like for us to go curate that and then drop new blends, I think would be really, really fun for us.
Yeah, and I mean, it would give your customers some different experiences when it comes to trying the different peppers from different parts of the world as well. Okay, so are you targeting home chefs in particular, like you said, with the aesthetic, or do you think professional chefs could possibly pick this up as well?
I think we're gearing more home chefs.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no doubt there's some interest. We've gotten some inbound from restaurants, but for our focus, it's the home chef.
Or it could be, like you said, this could be, I mean, not used by the chefs themselves, but in restaurants on the table as part of the salt and pepper condiment offering. Right?
Totally. Yeah.
All right. Fascinating. Okay. We want to find out what are some unexpected food pairings that work with pepper. Layla, do you have any examples?
Yeah, so I'm actually not a very serious home chef. So I go to hawker centers and take
Sure.
away food often. And so my tapao bihun, I actually enjoy topping up pepper on them.
Wow.
Yeah,
Elevated your bihun, yeah?
exactly.
How about you, Jeremy? Do you have a way to enjoy pepper?
The discovery is desserts.
Dessert? Oh, like with ice cream.
Yeah. But there's one specifically. So there's a dripping kaya cake from Simpopo that's very specific.
Wow.
But I put this pepper on it and it just blows my mind
Really?
every single time.
I gotta try that.
Yeah.
So there's that sweetness and then that spice that comes with it. Oh, that's a good suggestion. I think on desserts, it will really change or add different dimensions to our sweets, isn't it? Okay. How are you guys hoping that the Piper grinder and your pepper will change the way people view and use pepper as a spice?
Yeah, we're hoping Piper will help people become more mindful about sourcing their ingredients. Once they have more knowledge of specialty spices, we hope more people would actually choose higher quality ingredients, even for a kitchen staple like pepper. And also, once they're more inspired, we hope they would love to share that with their friends, also host parties and try different recipes at home with specialty ingredients. And we also would love to see people connect with their bodies through their spice experience. We think of it more like a sensory ritual. That's why we've designed tools that feels like ASMR. So grinding feels like a moment of joy. Yeah, and you're connecting with your body through all senses.
I love that. I love that it's about that mindfulness of it, of using ingredients. And you're right that you said it so well, Leila, the sensory ritual of just, a simple process of grinding pepper, adding it to your food, right?
Yeah.
It can be elevated in this way. All right, guys. I mean, we've talked so much about this. How can people get their hands on one of your grinders and pepper blends?
Yeah, we're officially launching soon, and so we're collecting emails for our special launch day in a couple of weeks. You can find us on Instagram at piper.now, or we've got a website as well, get.piper.now.
All right. And what would you say is going to be next? I mean, you're going to launch this, obviously, but what's next after Piper? Maybe a foray into other types of spices or salt, perhaps?
We get a ton of requests for salt, actually, but we're not ready for salt yet. We're laser focused on pepper. We're going to start our spice empire through the pepper route, see how it goes, and then expand after that. So we can't wait for everyone to try it.
Super exciting there. So like Jeremy and Leila said, if you want to find out more about their Piper grinder and their pepper blends as well, check them out on Instagram at Piper, and also their website is get.piper, piper.now. Thank you so much. That's great.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so fun.
What an honor to be here.
Yeah.
It uses technology.
Yeah, all the
Thank you
best
for having us.
when it launches.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah,
having us.
thank you.